Perfect. 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 Perfect.
Guys, what is good and what is going on, Sixer Nation? Your boy BLSG back once again for another Philadelphia 76ers live play-by-play. We're back with another one tonight here, ladies and gentlemen. Another Eastern Conference matchup against a very familiar foe that the Philadelphia 76ers have faced in recent history in the Toronto Raptors. They do have a couple key role players out for this game. Sixers only have one player out, which was actually part of a new acquisition to the James Harden trade. So we'll go ahead and get right into it eventually, but appreciate everybody that's already coming through, tuning in to this one already. If you guys have not done so, hit the like button on the stream. Hit the subscribe button if you guys are new. Never let you out the streets. You could bring more viewers up in the chat. You guys know how we rock and roll as always, so let's get down to business. And no need for the music here because we had a lot of music for a while going on. So let's just get straight to the chat. Lucas Holm, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you coming through. I know I saw your comment earlier. Now I'm going to touch base on it real quick before I get to the next one, saying I think Rocco will have a big year this year. Well, here's the thing, Lucas Holman. Here's the thing about this James Harden trade. Okay, Daryl Morey said that he wanted a star. The players that the Philadelphia 76ers have required are role players, but they're not stars. Okay? I have a feeling Daryl Morey went ahead and said, if I can't get the easy way out and just acquire the star that I want, I'm going to have to go ahead, do it the old-fashioned way, acquire some role players first, and then try to see if I can go out and find a way to then get a star. So I think that's how this is being planned out in terms of trying to acquire a star. There have been rumors out there such as Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine's been like the main guy. He's been talked about for like 2 to 4 months up to this point about being traded to the Sixers in a James Harden trade. But that's not going to be the case since James Harden was already traded over to the Clippers already. But to get a shooting guard possibly, Zach LaVine could be the guy. But what will it take? We shall see. But I think a good amount of what it's going to take to go ahead and get a guy like Zach LaVine is going to take some of the role players that we went ahead and acquired from the Los Angeles Clippers. But still, appreciate you for coming through and giving your thought out there, Lucas. I'm sure you already hit the like button, but I appreciate you for coming through the stream anyway. MC, what's going on? Appreciate you for coming through as well. So let's go Sixers. You already know what it is. Hit the like button if you're not done so. MC, appreciate you for coming through as well. And Michael Wazalewski, what's going on, my guy? Haven't seen you in the chat in a minute. What's going on? Appreciate you for coming through. Hit the like button if you have not done so, Michael, and I appreciate you for coming through to the stream as well. All right, ladies and gents, so we did go ahead and have some injury news to the Toronto Raptors side as well as the side of the Philadelphia 76ers, which for the Toronto Raptors side, the players that are injured for the Toronto Raptors are backup center Christian Koloko, small forward Otto Porter Jr., and power forward Precious Achiuwa. So, to me, honestly, those are like some hits to mainly just Toronto's like bench, because I think Achiuwa might be in the starting lineup now that I think about this here. But Otto Porter Jr. and Christian Koloko, some solid pieces off the bench when they are playing. But when it's all said and done, they're going to need some players to step up. And they have players that can step up indeed. But the question is, will it be enough to get the job done over the Philadelphia 76ers with Nick Nurse once again matching up against his former team in the Toronto Raptors? And then as for the Philadelphia 76ers, the only player out for the Philadelphia 76ers for tonight's game is backup power forward Nicholas Batum, who is out. I do believe it was something personal, because I don't think there was anything having to do with like an injury of some sort. So, looks like Nicholas Batum is just going to be out for just a little bit longer with whatever is going on with him, but hopefully everything's okay with him and what he's going through recently. But he's just one of those older players. He actually thought about retiring recently, so I'm not sure if that was just going to kind of impact him a little bit or if there's something else going on, but hopefully everything is okay with Nicholas Batum, and hopefully there's nothing too serious going on that's going to keep him out for too long. But we still have a good enough squad to go ahead and beat the Toronto Raptors anyway. But guys, real quick before the game goes ahead and gets started, go ahead and drop your score predictions down below in the chat. Let me know who you guys think is going to win tonight's game between the Sixers and the Raptors, this time at home at the Wells Fargo Center. But yeah, guys, this game should go ahead and get started here in just a few moments. Guys, also, I just wanted to go ahead and say that we're just 4 subscribers away from 600, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a wild ride over here on the BLSG YouTube channel, so I appreciate all you guys for your continued support. And we're almost at 600. We're on the road to 1,000 right now. We're just continuing to grind, continuing to never stop with these videos and live streams and just whatever pieces of content is being released. So I appreciate all you guys for coming through and supporting, as well as watching all the pieces of content that are being dropped. So I appreciate all the support from you guys. And again, continue to share it out. And let's reach 600 sometime in the next few days. And hopefully we can make that happen. We're not going to be doing like the shout-out events anymore, though, because I kind of honestly got over that. But at the end of the day, it'll just be a solid accomplishment to be 0.6 of the way to 1,000. So again, I appreciate everybody for their continued support to the channel. I mean, hopefully the game gets started here within the next few minutes. These games just take so long to start. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Overall, in each of the team's last 5 matchups, Toronto has lost 3 out of their last 5 games, winning against the Minnesota Timberwolves and then losing 3 straight to the Chicago Bulls in overtime, to the Philadelphia 76ers the first time that they played back on October 28th, and also losing to the Portland Trail Blazers by 8 points as well. And then they went ahead and beat the Milwaukee Bucks by 19. So that is how the last 5 has been for the Raptors, losing 3 out of their last 5 games. And then as for the Philadelphia 76ers, they went ahead and won 4 out of their last 5 games. 2 of these were preseason, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. But if not that, all of these are preseason for the Sixers. Actually, yeah. All these, except for 2 of them, are preseason. So they obviously got 2 preseason wins over the Brooklyn Nets and the Atlanta Hawks. But starting out their season, they went ahead and lost to the Milwaukee Bucks on opening night. And then they went ahead and won their next 2 against the Toronto Raptors and against the Portland Trail Blazers. As the starting lineups come in here for both teams, for the Toronto Raptors is Dennis Schroeder, Scotty Barnes, OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, and Jakob Poeltl. For the Philadelphia 76ers is Tyrese Maxey, DeAnthony Melton, Kelly Oubre Jr., Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid. Coming to you guys live from the Wells Fargo Center. Turns out that Kelly Oubre is going to get the start. I'm in a little bit of shock here, honestly, that the Philadelphia 76ers decided to go ahead and start Kelly Oubre. And the reason being is because of what he can just do off the bench. I get it that he can make a bigger impact in the starting lineup, but how are the players that we just went ahead and picked up, Marcus Morris, Nick Batum, KJ Martin, and I'm missing a guy. Oh my gosh, who in the world am I missing? I'm missing one more, but how were they going to be able to fit into Nick Nurse's system? I think they would have fit better into the starting lineup than Kelly Oubre, but we'll see what happens here as the tip is underway. The Sixers win the tip, and here we go with Tyrese Maxey starting out with the ball here for the Sixers. Maxey going to his right, guarded by Dennis Schroeder around his screen. Maxey coming inside, gets it to Embiid, out to Melton. Melton for 3 to start the game, and it's short. And it's going to be rebounded by Jakob Poeltl, who will get it over to Dennis Schroeder, over to Pascal Siakam. Siakam coming inside, in the paint, steps out of the paint, kicks it out to Scotty Barnes. Barnes guarded by Oubre, puts it up for 2, and it's good for Scotty Barnes right off the get-go. Here we go. The pass is inbounded from Joel Embiid. He gets it into Tyrese Maxey. Maxey guarded by Schroeder, gets it back to Embiid. Embiid guarded by Poeltl, gets it over to Harris. Harris around a screen from Embiid. Harris to pump fake against Barnes. Out to Oubre for three, and it's good for Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre getting the scoring starter for the Philadelphia 76ers in his first regular season start of the year with the Sixers, as Schroeder gets it over to Siakam. Siakam gets it over to Anunoby, over to Pirtle, over to Scotty Barnes. Barnes guarded by Oubre. Barnes looking, finds Schroeder at the top of the key. Schroeder around a screen from Pirtle. Schroeder gets it over to Pirtle, puts it up for two, no good, and Harris gets the rebound. Tobias Harris bringing it down the other end of the floor. Harris in the paint, puts it up for two, and it's good, and one to start for Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris will go to the line for one more. It's a good start right there for Tobias Harris. Says, get out of my way, Siakam. I think it is going to be called on Siakam, too. I don't think Scotty Barnes touches Tobias. Yeah, Pascal Siakam has his hands up, so he's going to be the culprit on this foul. And the three-point play is not completed by Tobias Harris as he misses the free throw off the back of the rim. And Anunoby does get the rebound, and here comes Dennis Schroeder for the Raptors. Schroeder dancing, guarded by Melton, gets it out to Scotty Barnes, guarded by Oubre. Barnes coming inside. Barnes backing in. Barnes going to fade away on this one for two, and it's no good. It's going to be rebounded by Embiid. But there's going to be a foul called. Surprisingly, it's going to be called on Kelly Oubre. What to watch for in this game for the Philadelphia 76ers is to push the ball and get everybody involved. That's facts right there. Can't be having guys like Joel Embiid do all the work as well as Tyrese Maxey. Got to have the role players step up when it is necessary to do so. As Scotty Barnes goes ahead and makes the first free throw here for the Raptors. Second one at the line for Scotty Barnes is also good, so he will go 2 for 2 on this trip to the free throw line. And now here come the Philadelphia 76ers. And with the ball right now is Tobias Harris, standing at the logo, guarded by Anunoby. Harris gets it to Embiid, guarded by Pirtle, gets it out to Melton in the corner for three. And it's overshot, but Oubre gets the rebound and throws down a one-handed jackhammer into the basket to give the Sixers a 7-4 lead. As Barnes lofts it up to Pirtle. Pirtle kicks it out to the top of the key, over to Siakam, over to Barnes, over to Anunoby in the corner for three, and it's good. Good response right there by the Raptors. Here we go on the inbound pass from Melton to Maxey, and it's in the hands right now of Tobias Harris. Now gets it over to Embiid. Embiid guarded by Pirtle. Gets it out to Melton. Melton out to Harris. Harris the fake. Harris coming inside. Harris back outside. Gets it over to Embiid. Embiid guarded by Pirtle. Embiid dancing. Embiid in the paint. Fading away on this one for two. It's good, but it's going to be a travel on Joel Embiid. Come on, Joel. You have to be better than that. You got to learn to keep your feet in place, Joel. Come on. Let's go. Here we go with Dennis Schroeder with the ball as the game's tied at 7. Kicks it over to Scotty Barnes on the pump fake for three. Gets over to Pirtle. Back to Barnes for three, and it is good for Scotty Barnes. As Melton inbounds it to Tyrese Maxey. Maxey guarded by Schroeder. Gets it over to Melton. Melton spinning. Melton getting inside. Melton with the layup is no good. It's going to be rebounded by Jakob Pirtle. Gets over to Scotty Barnes. Barnes gets over to Schroeder. Schroeder back out to Barnes. Barnes for three again, and it's good. This man cannot be stopped right now. How will the Sixers adjust? Woodnicker's called timeout soon. As Tobias Harris has the ball, he's coming inside. Kicking it out to Melton. Melton in the corner for three, and it's good for DeAnthony Melton. Good response by the Sixers. Here comes Siakam. And that should be a charge. It should be a charge here on Siakam as he knocks Oubre to the floor. And what did they call here? Oh, Oubre was set. But no, they actually called it a blocking foul on Kelly Oubre. But Oubre was set for sure, so I don't even know why it's a foul on him. As Pirtle gets it over to Anunoby. Anunoby back to Pirtle, out to Schroeder, over to Siakam, over to Barnes. Barnes left wide open, but it doesn't matter because it's an offensive foul here against the Raptors. Looks like the culprit is Scotty Barnes. If not him, I don't know who it could be because they were also just showing the player who took the shot for Toronto. As Melton inbounds it to Maxey, and Maxey takes it down the floor. Maxey guarded by Schroeder, gets it over to Embiid. Embiid trying to say, get out of my way. And Embiid lays it up and lays it in. Makes it look like clockwork out there. And the Sixers down by one just like that, 13-12. With under 8 minutes left to go in the first. As Schroeder gets it over to Siakam, back out to Schroeder. Schroeder coming inside. Schroeder going up, and that's denied, but it goes out to Barnes. Barnes going inside, in the paint, putting it up for two, and it's good for Scotty Barnes. Again, this man cannot be stopped. Eventually, we're going to need to make an adjustment here. So Nick Nurse better call timeout soon if the Sixers don't find a way to stop Scotty Barnes. And Melton trying to go up for the dunk and does not get it. And Scotty Barnes does get fouled, I do believe, by DeAnthony Melton. Scotty Barnes getting that little floater over Joel Embiid. It will be an inbound pass here coming from Siakam, who inbounds it to Dennis Schroeder. And Schroeder will go ahead and bring it down the floor here for Toronto. Here we go. Schroeder gets it over to Siakam, back to Schroeder. Schroeder guarded by Melton, comes around a screen. Schroeder with the high arcing deuce, and it is good for Dennis Schroeder. So a 5-point lead now here for the Raptors. Here comes Maxey. Maxey guarded by Schroeder, gets it over to Embiid. Embiid guarded by Pirtle, gets it back to Maxey, puts it up for two, and puts it in off the back of the rim. Tyrese Maxey finding a way to put the Sixers down by 3, 17-14, with under 7 minutes left in the first. Here Schroeder gets it over to Anunoby, over to Pirtle. Pirtle with the floater for two, no good. And Harris gets the rebound. Harris gets over Embiid, back to Harris. Harris a three at the top of the key, and it's good for Tobias Harris to tie this game up at 17 points apiece. Here comes Scotty Barnes, gets it over to Pirtle. Pirtle making Embiid jump, and Embiid is made that look too easy, but apparently it's going to be a travel on Jakob Pirtle. What a three here by Tobias at the top of the key. Bang! Is able to tie this game up just like so. Solid start to the game, but if we can start shutting down Scotty Barnes, we can easily stay with these guys. And basically, as of right now, the way they're playing, if we shut down Scotty Barnes, the whole team as of right now is shut down. So they need a player to step up. And Siakam really has not gotten used to the system yet with the new coach in for Toronto instead of having Nick Nurse there. So, honestly, the way Scotty Barnes is playing right now in this game, that's all you need to stop as of right now, because Siakam really has not been able to get it going the first couple games like he used to when Nick Nurse was here. But Scotty Barnes says, you know what? It doesn't even impact me. Whether Nick Nurse is here or not, I'm still here to play my game. Did anyone hear your radio interview? It was also on WHP 5 AM 580. Check it out, folks. He rocked it. Yeah, it was a great interview to do. It was on there for about 10 minutes. Guys, if you have not done so, go ahead and check out the interview that I did on Monday on either WHP 580 or iHeartRadio on the RJ Harris on the RJ Harris Breakfast Show, just like MC says right there. Be sure to check it out if you guys have not done so. Tobias Harris looks so much better under Nick Nurse, though, to say the least. I mean, him with Doc Rivers, Tobias Harris was looking clueless out there when Doc Rivers was here. But now that Nick Nurse is here, it's like Tobias Harris is a new man. Yeah, guys, the game should get back on here really soon as they show Scotty Barnes on the bench. So Scotty Barnes is sitting for a little bit here for the Raptors. Not sure why they're sitting him, though, because what they're doing with Scotty Barnes right now is honestly working. I'm not sure why they're sitting him. But Nick Nurse also goes ahead and makes a change here for his team as Maxey receives the inbound from Patrick Beverley. And here we go yet again. Maxey driving to the cup with the layup from Maxey, no good. And it's going to be rebounded here by the Raptors. And here comes Siakam. Siakam standing at the three-point line, gets it over to Schroeder. Schroeder over to Anunoby. Anunoby coming inside. Anunoby backing in, kicking it out to Schroeder. Over to Gary Trent Jr. Gary Trent kicking it out, and it's intercepted by Embiid. Embiid said, "Give me that." And Embiid comes down the floor, guarded by Pirtle. Trying to get it over to Harris, and Anunoby denies it. As it's knocked out of bounds, it will stay Sixers ball. But Tobias Harris was not able to retain the pass from Joel Embiid. As Patrick Beverley will go ahead and do the inbound. Beverley will loft it up to Embiid. Embiid back to Beverley. Beverley over to Korkmaz. Korkmaz going to his right, out to Beverley. Beverley taking a three. And it comes up short. And it's going to be Jakob Poeltl with the rebound at first. And now it's picked up by Gary Trent Jr. Gary Trent over to Siakam. Siakam for two. It's no good. Siakam gets his own rebound. Kicks it out to Schroeder. For three at the wing. And it is good for Dennis Schroeder. Got to find a way to shut these guys down. Got to find a way to do it really quick. Here we go. Here's Maxey with the ball. Gets it over to Harris. Harris guarded by Anunoby. Gets it over to Patrick Beverley. Beverley gets it over to Embiid. Embiid guarded by Pirtle. Back over to Beverley. Beverley around the screen from Embiid. Comes in the paint. Gets out of the paint. Beverley dancing. Floating it up for two. And it is no good for Patrick Beverley. Rebounded by Pirtle. Then lost it. But it's picked up by Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder coming down the floor. Schroeder coming inside, kicking it out to Gary Trent. Outside for three, and it's airballed. And it's rebounded by Furkan Korkmaz, who gets it over to Harris. Harris guarded by Anunoby. Gets it over to Embiid. Embiid guarded by Jakob Poeltl. Embiid trying to set up the offense. Embiid gets it over to Maxey. Maxey guarded by Schroeder. Maxey coming inside in the paint for two, and it's good for Tyrese Maxey. Sixers are down by one, but here comes Siakam. Siakam guarded by Harris. Siakam coming inside, fading away for two on this one for the free throw line, and it's no good. And Embiid gets the rebound and throws the full court heave to Harris. Harris with the floater is good for two. What a shot by Tobias Harris right under the basket, and a timeout called by Toronto. Sixers with the 1-point lead after a slow start to the quarter, but have really found a way to pick it up. Can their defense answer and stop the Raptors with Scotty Barnes on the floor? We'll find out after the commercial break. Sixers are finding ways to contribute, and basically everybody is contributing for the starting lineup. That's what I love about this Nick Nurse offense. He doesn't put everything and all the pressure on one player. He wants everybody to get involved. That's what I love about Nick Nurse when he's coaching. He wants everybody to get involved. With Doc Rivers, it was always selfish ball. Same thing with Brett Brown. It was always selfish ball with Joel Embiid. Always. If not always, it was literally almost every single game. Always selfish ball with Joel Embiid. Always. It was always selfish ball. But Nick Nurse, you know what he says? You know what? Let's go ahead and get everybody involved. Because that's what I'm here to do as a coach. I'm here to get everybody involved with the team. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot in the James Harden trade, I completely forgot that we brought Robert Covington back. So we got Batum, Robert Covington, KJ Martin, and Marcus Morris. Nick Batum is the one not playing tonight that came out of that package. Here we go with Malachi Flynn getting over to Siakam, over to Flynn. Flynn at the top of the key, coming inside, gets it over to Gary Trent. Trent gets it over to Siakam, gets it over to Trent. Trent, guarded by Embiid, gets it over to Jakob Poeltl. Poeltl going up for two, no good. That's going to be Embiid with the rebound against Siakam. And here come the Sixers. Embiid coming inside, trying to kick it out to Korkmaz, and that was a miscommunication. Embiid didn't think Korkmaz was going to go that far. So it turns out it is a turnover here for the Sixers, and it's Raptors basketball. As Siakam gets it over to Jakob Poeltl, and on the second pass, it is taken away by the Sixers, and Tobias Harris is able to take it all the way to the cup here for the Sixers to give them a 3-point lead over the Raptors. Here we go. Malachi Flynn with the ball, gets it over to Gary Trent. Gary Trent just releasing a shot. It's no good, but he does go ahead and get fouled, and it's going to be on Patrick Beverley. SG Sports Talk, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you for coming through. So go Toronto Raptors. And I still appreciate you for coming through, though, my guy. Hit the like button if you have not done so. I appreciate you for coming through the stream. As the first one at the line is no good here on from the free throw line for Gary Trent Jr. The Toronto Raptors have a former Golden State Warrior on the roster in Otto Porter Jr. But guess what? SG Sports Talk, he's not playing. Otto Porter's not playing tonight. As the second one of the line is good for that time for Gary Trent Jr. And DeAnthony Melton will get back into the game. And into the game for the Sixers as well is number 11, Jaden Springer. So Nick Nurse, again, just willing to try new things here, willing to experiment. Doc Rivers would never do that. As the third one at the line is also no good for Gary Trent Jr. Sixers pick up the rebound, but here comes Furkan Korkmaz. Gets it over to Beverly. Beverly lofting up to Embiid, and Embiid with the layup. No good. Tries also for the rebound. Can't make that happen. And Embiid's going to be called for the foul as Gary Trent Jr. gets knocked to the floor. Actually, no. Embiid's actually going to the line. So it's actually a foul on Gary Trent Jr. Free throw here for Embiid is good. Sixers up by 3, and also will get possession of the ball. With Patrick Beverley doing the inbound. Beverley guarded by Grady, gets it over to Embiid, over to Jaden Springer. Springer gets it over to Beverley. Beverley for 3. It's going to rim out, but Springer gets the rebound. Springer out to Melton. Melton with the step back. But it looks like Melton stepped out of bounds. Here we go. Here's Boucher gets it over to Malachi Flynn, over to Scotty Barnes, over to Gary Trent Jr. Trent gets it over to Boucher for three at the top of the key. No good. Springer gets the rebound. Springer showing that hustle. As he gets over to Embiid, over to Korkmaz, and he tries to get out to Gary Trent Jr., and that's tipped and taken away. Gary Trent Jr. makes the play. Boucher with the ball gets over to Barnes. Barnes guarded by Embiid gets it over to Gary Trent Jr. Gary Trent Jr. for three, and it's good. And just like that, this game is tied up once again at 24 points apiece. How can the Sixers respond on offense? Beverly gets it over to Melton, over to Korkmaz. Korkmaz guarded by Gary Trent Jr. Korkmaz looking for an option, finds Melton. Melton gets over to Embiid, back to Melton. Melton coming inside, putting it up for two. No good, but a foul's going to be called on the Raptors. Foul's going to be called on, and it looks like Malachi Flynn. Looks like it's going to be a defensive 3-second violation against Toronto. So Embiid, once again, will be back to the line here for the Sixers. Free throw is good for Embiid. And again, Sixers will also go ahead and retain possession here. Beverly will be the one doing the inbound pass against Grady. Not even going to say his last name. As Beverly gets it into Embiid, back to Beverly. Beverly gets it over to Melton. Melton out to Embiid. Embiid guarded by Barnes. Embiid backing in, looking, still backing in. Embiid still looking, fading away on this one for two. No good. It's going to be rebounded by Gary Trent Jr., but solid hustle right there by Jaden Springer as Gary Trent gets it out to Malachi Flynn. Flynn back to Gary Trent Jr., guarded by Melton. Gary Trent going inside, and that's denied by the Sixers. They try to get the rebound, and it will be Sixer ball. As the ball does go out of bounds, but it went off the Raptors' lasso. It will be Sixer ball. I think it was Beverly who got to it first. And then Embiid might have gotten a piece of it. As Beverly gets it over to Melton, over to Korkmaz. Korkmaz heaving it over to Springer in the corner. Springer finding Embiid in the paint. Embiid going up for two, and he will be fouled. And once again, it's going to be on Scotty Barnes. First one on the line for Joel Embiid is good. Second one on the line for Joel Embiid is good as well to give the Sixers a 3-point lead, 27-24 over the Raptors. Here we go with Malachi Flynn with the ball. Gets it over to Grady, back over to Flynn. Flynn coming inside, putting it up for two on the floater, no good. And Melton gets the rebound. Melton being guarded by Malachi Flynn. Melton coming inside, trying to get a stiff arm, but it's going to be a foul called on Toronto. And speaking of Malachi Flynn, that's who exactly it's going to be on. So DeAnthony Melton will go to the line here to shoot 2 free throws. Sixers are in the bonus. First one on the line for Melton is good. This season so far for DeAnthony Melton, averaging 8 points, 3 rebounds, and about 5 assists a game. Second one on the line, rims out for DeAnthony Melton. So the Raptors will get the rebound and will only be down by 4. As Scotty Barnes has the ball, guarded by Jaden Springer. Barnes standing at the logo. Barnes coming around the screen. Jaden Springer isn't even bothered. Barnes on the step back for 3, and it's overshot. And Boucher cannot handle the ball. And it's going to be out of bounds off the Raptors, and it's going to be Sixers ball again. Here we go. Patrick Beverly on the inbound gets it into DeAnthony Melton. Melton guarded by Malachi Flynn, standing at the logo. And Melton just going to dribble it out for a little while. Now Melton starts driving. Gets over to Embiid. Embiid backing in, trying to kick it out. And he will be fouled again by the Raptors. And once again, crying for the 100 millionth time is what it feels like, is Chris Boucher. Joel Embiid back to the line here, shoot 2 free throws. SC Sports Talk, I see your comment. I'll get to it in a second, probably at the end of the quarter. As the first one on the line for Joel Embiid is good. Dennis Schroeder will check back in here for the last few seconds of the first quarter. The Raptors respond here before the end of the first quarter expires. Second one on the line for Joel Embiid is good as well. So Embiid goes 2 for 2 from the line on this trip. Now here come the Raptors for one final possession. Shot clock is off. As Schroeder gets it over to Anunoby, and Anunoby pulling up for 2. Does get it to go. And the Raptors, just like that, will only be down by 4 points going into the second quarter by a score of 30-26 through 1. And ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we'll head to quarter number 2 with the Raptors down by 4, 30-26. There we go. Now I'll get back into the chat. All right, so what happened with Otto Porter Jr.? So apparently with Otto Porter Jr., SC Sports Talk, apparently they're saying for where is Otto Porter Jr.? Let me check the Raptors here. On SC Sports Talk, I'm trying to find it. Well, I'm not sure what the injury is with Otto Porter, SC Sports Talk. I'm trying to go ahead and do it this way. So what happened with Otto Porter, SC Sports Talk, is that he's apparently just resting for tonight. It's just rest for Otto Porter Jr. It's not like he's injured or anything. As the second quarter is underway, and we already have an early foul here early on here to begin the second quarter. And apparently it's going to be a foul called against the Sixers. Here we go. Here comes Malachi Flynn down the floor. Malachi Flynn spinning. Flynn gets it over to Anunoby. Anunoby over to Boucher. Boucher with the reverse layup is good. And just like that, the Raptors are now down by 2. 30-28 now. As Beverly is going down the floor. Beverly gets it over to Korkmaz. Korkmaz goes behind the back to Maxey. Maxey spinning. Finds Paul Reed, who checks in. Reed putting it up for 2. No good. It's going to be rebounded here by Scotty Barnes, who then does get fouled by Paul Reed. So it'll stay Raptors ball. Recently went to Hawaii and took a picture with Robert Covington. And then moments later, he got traded to the Philadelphia 76ers for the remainder of the season. It's a little, that's cool, but it's also kind of funny that as soon as you go ahead and take a picture with Robert Covington in Hawaii, he gets traded to the Sixers in the next day or two. Whenever you did go ahead and take that picture. Here we go on the inbound here. Anunoby has it, gets in the paint and puts it up for 2 and puts it in. So now here comes Patrick Beverly with the ball, gets it over to Paul Reed, gets it over to Tobias Harris. Harris going to his left. Harris coming inside, spinning. Harris kicking it out to Beverly, over to Korkmaz. Korkmaz for 3 at the top of the key, no good. Beverly with the rebound out to Harris. Harris for 3 from the wing, and it's good for Tobias Harris. As soon as Nick Nurse comes to Philly, bang, Tobias Harris is risen from the dead. Here we go, Scotty Barnes on the step back 3 against Paul Reed from the top of the key, no good. It's going to be rebounded by Patrick Beverly. Beverly gets it over to Tyrese Maxey, who checks right back in. Gets it over to Beverly, over to Harris. Harris setting up the offense, guarded by Malachi Flynn. Harris loses the ball, and Malachi Flynn picks it up. But it turns out it's going to be a foul, actually, on Malachi Flynn, it looks like. Never mind, it's going to be a foul called on the Sixers, apparently, as the Raptors will go ahead and have the ball here. As Malachi Flynn gets it over to Jaden McDaniels, actually. Gets it over to Barnes, over to Boucher, over to Anunoby. Anunoby in the paint, blocked by Paul Reed. Say, get that weak stuff out of here. Here comes Oubre. Oubre with the layup denied by the Raptors, but it goes out to Patrick Beverly, over to Maxey for 2, no good. Paul Reed trying to get the rebound, and that's denied as it's tipped out to Scotty Barnes, who loses the ball and gets it back. Barnes going to spin, put it up for 2, and it's no good, but Boucher with the putback is able to get it to go. Here we go with Patrick Beverly, who gets it over to Paul Reed. Reed gets it over to Maxey. Maxey guarded by Boucher. Maxey kicks out to Harris. Harris wide open for 3. It's no good that time. Beverly, for the moment, had the rebound, but Malachi Flynn is able to pick it up and get it over to Scotty Barnes. Now gets it back to Flynn, who shoots a high-arcing triple, and it's good for Malachi Flynn. Now the Raptors will be up by 2 over the Sixers. Here comes Patrick Beverly down the floor with it, guarded by Malachi Flynn. Beverly going to drive. Beverly going to find Oubre. Oubre going to float it up to the cup. No good with the finger roll. And it's going to be rebounded by the Raptors. Jaden McDaniels for 2, and it's good, and 1 for the former Sixer. So the former Sixer, Jaden McDaniels, going ahead and getting the bucket on the court that he played on last year. Not a great start to the second quarter for the Sixers, ladies and gents. The Raptors They got a little angry after that first quarter that they had. But now they're coming out here firing like so. Nick Nurse need to make some changes here. But just like that, Sixers legend Jalen McDaniels coming in and putting a shot up. He makes his return to the Wells Fargo Center. Just like that. The Sixer legend, as some people like to joke with it, they like to joke with it and saying, oh, Sixers legend Philippe Petrusev, Sixers legend Jalen McDaniels, Sixers legend Raul Neto, and so on and so forth. What about Sixers legend Kyle O'Quinn and Norvell Penn? Imagine that was the case that those guys were ever going to come back. Actually, no, Sixers legend Mike Scott. Those were the good old days. When Mike Scott was still here, oh, those were the good old days when Brett Brown was here with Mike Scott. Those were the good old days back then. Those were the good old days. It was during the COVID year, I think, of the NBA. Pretty sure that's when it was. Here you go. The second quarter is about to continue here. Let's see how the Sixers are going to adjust for potentially the rest of the way. As Maxey inbounds it to Kelly Oubre. Now Oubre will bring it down the floor early on. Gets it over to Melton, over to Maxey. Back over to Melton, finds Paul Reed. Reed getting in the paint and throwing it down with a grown man jam. Just like that, the Sixers are down by 2, just like so. Let's see some defense here from Philly, see what they can do. As Flynn gets it over to Scotty Barnes. Barnes back over to Malachi Flynn. Gets it over to Boucher. Boucher gets it over to Scotty Barnes. Barnes guarded by Paul Reed. Barnes coming inside in the paint. Barnes putting it up for 2, and it is good for Scotty Barnes. Again, this man just cannot be stopped. It's got to be stopped at some point in this game. As Melton has the ball, tries to come around a screen from Paul Reed. Melton on a long 2. It's no good. Paul Reed gets the rebound. But it will be a foul called against the Raptors. And just a great way to play some pick and roll right there with DeAnthony Melton and Paul Reed both working together at the same time. Melton will now inbound it to Paul Reed. Gets it over to Kelly Oubre. Oubre going to drive. Oubre with the layup for 2. No good. And it's going to be rebounded here by the Raptors as Scotty Barnes comes away with it. Gets it over to Malachi Flynn. Flynn gets it out there to Barnes. Barnes gets it over to Anunoby. Anunoby surrounded by blue jerseys. Gets it over to Barnes, over to Malachi Flynn. Flynn gets it out to Anunoby for 3, and it's no good off the back of the rim and missed. Rebounded by the Sixers. Here comes Maxey. Maxey, the layup is good, and 1 for time. Reese Maxey. Let's go. That's what we're talking about. If you guys do not see right now, I had to go ahead and rock the Tyrese Maxey jersey for tonight. Just had somewhere feeling that this man was going to go ahead and make an impact against the Raptors in this game. But good play right there by Tyrese, and way to get the and one as well. Chance to make it a 3-point play. Looks like the foul is called on Malachi Flynn, who had first contact on Maxey. So Maxey with a chance to make it a 1-point game, which he does so perfectly. 39-38. Raptors with a 1-point lead right now. But here comes Dennis Schroeder. Gets it over to OG Anunoby, who finds Jakob Poeltl, battling against Paul Reed. And a foul's going to be called on the Sixers. Looks like it's going to be on Paul Reed as he has his hands going like this all of a sudden. He's like, what did I do? What am I supposed to do? And Grady's going to come back into the game here for the Raptors, subbing in for OG Anunoby. I'm not going to say his last name, though. That's why I'm just saying Grady. Speaking of Grady, he does go ahead and does the inbound. Inbounds it to Jakob Poeltl, gets it over to Siakam. Siakam with the layup is good. Again, though, Siakam has not had the best start ever since Nick Nurse left the team, so he's got to get used to the new coaching as Melton gets over to Maxey. Maxey looking for his options. Coming inside, puts it up for two, no good. Reed gets the rebound here for the Sixers. Gets out to Harris, coming inside, finds Oubre. Ball is loose. Reed picks it up, showing the hustle. Reed with the floater for two, and it's good for B. Ball. Paul. Let's go. That's what we're talking about right there. That's how you show hustle on the floor, and that's what Nick Nurse wants to see. Doc Rivers didn't want to see that. He wanted to see everybody walking down the floor, dilly-dallying off in la-la land, and he never even wanted anyone to start running. He never wanted to show the hustle. He literally just wanted to have everyone walk down the floor. And speaking of which, the Sixers go ahead and make a great defensive play on the steal as Melton goes ahead, lobs up to Maxey for the two, and it is good. And the Sixers are now up by one with a lead as Siakam has the ball here, gets it over to Schroeder, gets it over to Siakam over two. Jalen McDaniels in the corner for three, no good. Rebounded by the Raptors by Jakob Poeltl specifically. Gets it over to Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder over to Poeltl, who will throw one down on Paul Reed. Joel Embiid getting ready to check back in here for Paul Reed at some point during the second quarter as Melton gets it over to Harris. Harris thought about kicking it out to Melton, which he eventually does. And Melton standing outside the three-point line. Melton gets it over to Harris. Harris the pump fake. Coming inside, driving. Harris the floater for two, and it's good for Tobias Harris just like so. Tobias Harris retaking the lead. Allowing the Sixers to retake the lead, I should say. But we do have a foul here. It looks like it's going to be on the Sixers. As they're showing the steal and then the score from Melton and Maxey. And then you see Harris with the finger roll floater, and that was good as well. So it was a foul on the Sixers. Sixers trying to say it's their ball, but the officials disagree. But Joel Embiid is back in the game now for Paul Reed. And actually, the whole starting lineup is back as Siakam kicks it out to Grady, gets it over to Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder floating it up for two, no good, and Embiid gets the rebound. Finds DeAnthony Melton. Melton looking. Guarded by Grady, gets it over to Embiid. Embiid gets it over to Maxey. Maxey driving. Maxey gets it to Embiid. Embiid faking the pass. Getting around Poeltl. Fading away on one for two, and it's good for Joel Embiid. Let's go, Joel. He wants to be more than just a guy that gets in the paint. He wants to be more than that. As Schroeder gets it over to Pascal Siakam. Siakam going to drive, kick it out to Jakob Poeltl. Getting it over to Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder almost having the ball taken away by Tobias, who gets it out to Siakam over to Grady, who apparently had the ball stripped from him, and it's picked up by Melton. Gets it over to Embiid, over to Maxey. Maxey up the baseline. Reverse layup is no good for Tyrese. It'll be rebounded here by the Raptors. Here comes Siakam. Siakam coming inside, battling, floating, putting it up for two, no good. Foul will be called on the floor, and it's going to be on DeAnthony Melton, it looks like. And it will be an inbound pass here as Gary Trent gets it into Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder coming around the screen, but Melton gets locked up on him. And Dennis Schroeder will be fouled by Melton. I think that's the second consecutive foul in a row for D-Melt. And Schroeder getting up slowly here as he did get hit on the knee. And Dennis Schroeder just trying to walk it off here. Let's see how this will affect Dennis Schroeder's shooting. First one of the line for Schroeder is good. So far, it's not impacting him that much. Let's see what he does on the second free throw. As Jaden Springer will sub into the game here for the Sixers. Looks like he's going in for DeAnthony Melton with the foul situation that he is in right now. So it'll be Jaden Springer running with the starting five of Maxey, Oubre, Harris, and Embiid. Second one is also good for Dennis Schroeder. And so far, it seems to not be impacting him too much as the Sixers will bring the ball down the floor. Maxey goes around a screen, and it'll be kicked off of the leg of Dennis Schroeder. It will go out of bounds. It will stay Sixer ball. And Harris will inbound it to Embiid. Embiid guarded by Pirtle. Embiid backing in. Embiid trying to find his way, and he will not be fouled, and it's picked up by the Raptors. Here comes Siakam in the lane, and it will be Sixer ball, as Siakam did lose it. Great defense right there by Tyrese Maxey. Yeah, it didn't even touch Maxey. It wasn't even close. As Maxey now has the ball in his hands. Maxey comes down the floor, gets it over to Embiid. Embiid guarded by Pirtle, gets it over to Maxey. Maxey around the screen, gets it over to Oubre. Oubre putting it up for two. No good, but he will go ahead and go to the free throw line here to shoot two, as the foul is going to be called on Grady. Again, not going to go ahead and say his last name. I know his last name is, I'm just not saying it. Just calling him Grady for now. First one on the line for Kelly Oubre Jr. is good. So far, Kelly Oubre has been off to a pretty solid start to the year for the Sixers. Timeout will be called. It looks like it's going to be by the Sixers as well. So Nick Nurse looking to make a couple more adjustments for the final minutes of the first half. We'll see what he does here. The Sixers just go ahead and continue to fight in this game, ladies and gents. They're continuing to fight. They're not stopping. Nick Nurse taking a timeout anyway before Kelly Oubre goes ahead and shoots the second free throw. With 3.5 minutes left to go, Sixers up by 2, 47-45. Second free throw will be coming here for Kelly Oubre. Now, are they putting the starting five out there, or are they still keeping Jaden Springer out there? The answer is that they are keeping Jaden Springer out there. Looks like Melton is in a little bit of foul trouble here for the Sixers, as the second free throw by Kelly Oubre is good as well. Here we go. Here goes Dennis Schroeder down the floor. Schroeder. He's going to be knocked out of bounds by Kelly Oubre, and that's easily going to be a foul on number 9. First one on the line here for Dennis Schroeder is good. Raptors down by 2, and Oubre is going out. Korkmaz is coming right back in. Second one on the line for Dennis Schroeder is good as well. Off the front of the rim, off the back and in. Here we go. Maxey with the ball here, guarded by Dennis Schroeder. Maxey coming inside, kicking out to Springer in the corner. Springer at the wing finds Embiid. Embiid driving. Embiid fading on 1 for 2. And it's good for Joel Hans Embiid. And 1. Count that. Oh my goodness. Now that's an MVP play right there. If this is not an MVP play, I don't know what is. Off Scotty Barnes, he's fading away with 1 hit. Oh my goodness. Heck no. No, he didn't. Woo. That's what we're talking about, Joel. That's why you're the reigning MVP right there and not Jokic, making plays like that. And the three-point play is completed by Joel Embiid to put the Sixers up by 4. Here we go. Here's Dennis Schroeder with the ball. Gets it over to OG Anunoby. Anunoby gets it back over to Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder guarded by Maxey. Schroeder backing in. Schroeder going to the outside. Trying to kick it out, and it's tipped off of Korkmaz. And Maxey passes it to Korkmaz, and Korkmaz will throw it down. And put the Sixers up by 6 over the Raptors. And Siakam will find Pirtle. It's no good, and Embiid says, give me the rebound. Here goes Maxey to the left side. Maxey coming in. And that's taken away for the moment, but Springer picks it up, showing the hustle out to Korkmaz in the corner for 3. And it's good for Ferk the Turk. Furkan Korkmaz. Putting the Sixers up by almost 10 points here, nearly to close out the quarter. 8-0 run for the Sixers in the last minute. As Anunoby gets it over to Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder around the screen, pulling up for 2 on this one. No good. It's going to be Harris with the rebound, and Harris will bring it down the floor. Harris trying to find Korkmaz, and Korkmaz was not even ready for it. Tobias Harris just went ahead and threw a bullet. And Korkmaz was just not ready to receive the pass. No field goals for the Raptors, though, in over 4 minutes now. As Scotty Barnes stands in the corner for 3, and it's no good as it rims out. But Scotty Barnes able to get the rebound that time. Barnes finds Pirtle. Pirtle going up for 2, and it's good. And the field goal drought is over for the Raptors. Here come the Sixers now as Harris finds Embiid. Embiid standing for the moment, gets it over to Maxey. Maxey guarded by Schroeder. Maxey around the screen. Shoots a three from the wing. No good. It's going to be rebounded by Jakob Poeltl, who gets it over to Pascal Siakam. Siakam guarded by Springer, gets it over to Poeltl. Poeltl over to Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder coming inside. Pump fake. Kicks it out to Anunoby. Anunoby 7 court miles to the floor, but it will be an offensive foul. Under a minute to play. Let's go. Let's go. Under a minute to play here. Under 50 seconds to play, it looks like. As Embiid has the ball guarded by Jakob Poeltl. Gets it over to Maxey. Maxey guarded by Schroeder. Spinning. Maxey finds Embiid. Embiid pulling up for two. No good. And Embiid sitting on the ground. Going to need an assist here from Tobias Harris and Jaden Springer. And it's going to be a foul called on Jakob Poeltl. Here we go. Embiid to the line here. Shoot 2 free throws here for the Sixers. First one on the line for Joel Embiid is good. Second one on the line for Embiid is good as well to give the Sixers a 9-point lead. 58-49 right now. About 30 seconds left here in the first half. 9-9 from the line is Joel Embiid as Anunoby has the ball. Finds Jakob Poeltl, flips it back to Anunoby. Out to Siakam in the corner for three. It's airballed. Anunoby with the rebound. Embiid swats it away, but it gets out to Barnes over to Siakam. Siakam out to Schroeder, over to Barnes again. Barnes coming inside, kicking out to Siakam. Over to Schroeder, who shoots the three. Comes up short. Harris gets, or rather that is Tobias Harris getting the rebound. Gets over to Maxey, who shoots a deep shot off the front of the rim and misses. But that is going to take us to the end of the first half, where the Philadelphia 76ers will hold on to a 9-point lead over the Toronto Raptors going into halftime, 58-49. That's a good first half right there from the Sixers, ladies and gentlemen. Leading it by 9 at halftime over the Raptors right now. That's a good half. Got to play 24 more minutes, though. And they have to be good quality minutes, too. That's what Nick Nurse wants. But ladies and gents, on that note, we're going to go ahead and go over the halftime stats here. And then we're going to go ahead and take the halftime break like we always do. So starting it off on the Toronto Raptors side, Scotty Barnes leads the way here for the Toronto Raptors at halftime with 14 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. Following that up is OG Anunoby with 7 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist. I skipped over Dennis Schroeder, but he had 9 points, a rebound, and 4 assists in the first half. Jakob Poeltl with 4 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. Chris Boucher with 4 points and 2 rebounds as well as a block. Gary Trent Jr. with 4 points, 3 rebounds, and a block. Malachi Flynn with 3 points and 2 steals. Joe McDaniels with 2 points and a rebound. And then Pascal Siakam not off to the greatest start. But again, like I've said before, the way that this is changing for the Raptors culture of not having Nick Nurse on their team is impacting Pascal Siakam. I'm telling you guys, It's impacting him. He's not putting up his regular numbers with this new coaching right now. He would put up the regular numbers if Nick Nurse was the head coach, but he's not the head coach. He's not the head coach right now, so Pascal Siakam, as of right now to start the season, is struggling. But again, Pascal Siakam rounding us off for the Raptors side of things with 2 points, a rebound, and 2 assists to end up the first half stats for the Toronto Raptors. Now to the Philadelphia 76ers side. As Joel Embiid closes out the first half, finishing with 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Following that up is Tobias Harris with 14 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. Then following it up is Tyrese Maxey, missing a good amount of shots, but is able to make some good quality plays here for the Sixers. As of right now, Maxey has 9 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist. Or rather, 9 points, 2 assists, and a steal so far for Tyrese Maxey. Then following that up is Kelly Oubre Jr. with 7 points and a rebound. So not the best start, but not the worst for Kelly Oubre for making his debut in the starting lineup. Since there is no PJ Tucker anymore. Not the best start, though, for Kelly Oubre Jr. to get in the starting lineup. But honestly, still, no matter what, he's an upgrade over PJ Tucker. And then off the bench, you got Furkan Korkmaz with 5 points, a rebound, and 2 steals. You got Paul Reed with 4 points and 2 rebounds as well as a block. And then you have DeAnthony Melton with 4 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal to end off the first half stats for your Philadelphia 76ers. Now over to the team stats now, ladies and gentlemen, as the Philadelphia 76ers in the first half shot the ball 46.5% to the Raptors 45%. The Raptors shot the ball 40% from three-point range to the Philadelphia 76ers 38.5%. The Philadelphia 76ers shot the ball 86.7% from the free throw line to the Toronto Raptors 77.8%. The Toronto Raptors out-rebounded the Philadelphia 76ers in the first half 23-21, and both teams each have 6 offensive rebounds. The Toronto Raptors had more assists than the Philadelphia 76ers 13-12. The Sixers had more steals than the Raptors in the first half, 5-3. Each team had 2 blocks in the first half. The Sixers are currently winning the turnover battle over the Toronto Raptors 10-7. In terms of points in the paint, the Sixers with 30 points in the paint to the Raptors 22, and a total of 21 personal fouls called, 11 on the Sixers and 10 on the Toronto Raptors. And ladies and gents, on that note, that is how the first half stats come to an end. A good half overall, though, by the Philadelphia 76ers. Looking to do the same thing and repeat that in the second half. Hope to get guys like Tyrese Maxey going, who have not been able to put up the best numbers. And hopefully Kelly Oubre gets going in the starting lineup a little bit more. And hopefully without Kelly Oubre coming off the bench, this bench can still find a way to go out there and be aggressive, even without even without Kelly Oubre on their side when it comes to where he is placed for the Philadelphia 76ers. And ladies and gentlemen, on that note, that is going to go ahead and take us to the halftime break. For those of you who do not know how it works, go get a snack, go get a drink, go to the bathroom, do whatever you guys need to do in order to get ready for the second half of this game between the Toronto Raptors and the Philadelphia 76ers. And ladies and gents, on that note, I will see you all back here for the second half. All right, guys, I am officially back now as the second half is about to get underway, and it actually is underway right now. So here we go, and the Raptors are going to start one off by throwing one down from Scotty Barnes to Pascal Siakam for 2. So that is how they're going to start the second half immediately after the third quarter gets started. And Kelly Oubre goes ahead and falls to the floor and then starts doing push-ups. Looks like the foul is going to be called here on Pascal Siakam. Here we go. Tobias starts to do the inbound pass here, gets it into Maxey. Maxey guarded by Anunoby. Maxey directing the offense here. Maxey gets it over to Kelly Oubre. Oubre guarded by Siakam. Gets over to Embiid. Embiid going to fade away on 1 for 3, and that's going to be airballed out of bounds. And it will be Raptors basketball. That's not how we need to start a second half. We got to start off playing better. We got to play better than that. Here we go. Here's Scotty Barnes with the ball. Barnes backing in to Kelly Oubre. Barnes kicking it out to Jakob Poeltl. Poeltl kicking it out to Anunoby. Anunoby finds Maxey. Gets it over to Jakob Poeltl, over to Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder going up for 2 over Embiid, and it's good. And Nick Nurse so far in the second half is not liking what he's seeing so far. He's got to stand up. He's got to quit sitting on the bench. And Embiid goes up for 2 and gets it to go as he gets in the paint. That's what we need to see right there from the Sixers overall in terms of the offense. Now, how will the defense respond? As Schroeder with the ball off the pass from Jakob Poeltl. Dancing, kicks out to Scotty Barnes. Barnes guarded by Kelly Oubre around the screen. Barnes coming inside. Barnes fading away on this 1 for 2 over Joel Embiid, and it's good again. It's the same way that Scotty Barnes was in the first half. A guy that just could not miss. Here we go. As Maxey gets it over to Embiid, and Embiid. That's going to be a charge called on Joel. Come on, guys. This is not how we need to be starting the second half. This is looking like sloppy ball here in the first couple minutes of play. Like, what are we doing here? We got Embiid trying to hang on to the ball. Like, what are we doing? Here we go. As Schroeder has the ball, gets it over to Siakam. Siakam gets it over to Scotty Barnes. Barnes back over to Schroeder. Schroeder coming inside, kicking it out. Over to Barnes. Over to Siakam. Siakam gets over to Poeltl for 2, and it is good for Jakob Poeltl. And this is not the start to the second half that the Sixers were looking for whatsoever. And a timeout is going to need to be called immediately by Nick Nurse. And I mean immediately. That is a sloppy way to begin the second half right there. Clearly, we did not adjust at halftime. Clearly, we were dilly-dallying at halftime is what we were doing. As of right now, the way we're playing the second half, we were dilly-dallying in la-la land. We weren't doing our part. We weren't getting motivated by Nick Nurse. We weren't executing plays. We weren't practicing, apparently. We could have done that, but nope. We got to be dilly-dallying in la-la land. That's what we're doing right now. We're going to be dilly-dallying. We're going to dilly-dally in la-la land. That's how it's looking right now to begin the second half. Because the Sixers are looking really sloppy right now. But what I like about Nick Nurse, though, he's actually going to adjust. After a few plays where the Sixers go wrong, he's going to adjust. And that's what you have to like about a coach. Doc Rivers, take notes, my friend. Brett Brown, same thing goes to you. Take notes. You guys are nowhere even close to a coach like Nick Nurse. Not even close. You guys are not even close to being a coach like Nick Nurse is. Nick Nurse has all the gadgets to get the job done. You guys never had that mentality. And also, what I need to see step up is this bench. This bench without Kelly Oubre so far has looked like absolutely nothing. They need to be better than this. Even if Kelly Oubre is not off the bench, there's still players that have potential to make their presence felt. There's still guys here that have potential all day. There's a good handful of guys here that have potential off the bench. They just need to come out here and show it. As of right now, we haven't seen any of the new acquisitions, whether if it's Robert Covington, Marcus Morris, Nick Batum we're not seeing tonight, for sure. And then KJ Martin. We haven't seen any of the new players come in. We've seen all the same old guys. We haven't seen any of the new players come in. So my guess is that if they're not ready tonight, they were available though if it is necessary. They are available because they were not listed on the injury report. So they were available. They're probably just not playing them. They're probably just getting up to pace here with their system. As Melton has the ball taken away, and Scotty Barnes, off the pass from Schroeder, is going to throw it down. And again, the Sixers are playing sloppy, and the Raptors are starting to play aggressive. Here we go with Melton. Bring it down the floor again. Melton spinning. In a double collision, finds Harris. Harris going to drive on Pirtle. Fades away on 1 for 2. No good. It's going to be rebounded by Scotty Barnes. We'll get it over to Siakam. Siakam going to drive. Siakam going to pull one up, and it's no good. And Melton picks it up. Gets it over to Maxey. The layup is good past Scotty Barnes. The Raptors are getting red hot, though. Got to be careful. As Barnes takes it down the other end, shoots 1 for 2, and it's good. And again, it's the same guy that can't miss. It's the same guy that cannot miss in Scotty Barnes. And apparently we have a defensive 3-second violation here on the Sixers. It looks like it's on Kelly Oubre. He's the one conversing with the ref. As the free throw by Dennis Schroeder is no good. Here we go. Sixers will get the ball, though. They're only up by 1 now. Need to find a way to step up in any sort of way. As Oubre gets it over to Melton. Melton going to his right. Melton driving. Melton going to kick it out to Embiid, and then Embiid going to drive. Gets it over to Harris. Harris with the layup for 2 is good. There we go, Sixers. Come on, let's go. Play some defense. That's all we need right now. As Schroeder gets over to Jakob Poeltl for 2, and it is good, and 1 here for the Raptors, and Jakob Poeltl's going to the line for 1 more. And this is how we're making a statement on defense. Come on, guys. That's how we're making a statement on defense. My goodness. Embiid, you need to be better than that. I'm sorry, Joel, but you cannot be slapping at Jakob Poeltl. I'm sorry. That's unacceptable basketball right there. You can't be slapping Jakob Poeltl. I get it. You couldn't help it that OG Anunoby made a behind-the-back pass as Maxey gets it over to Harris, back to Maxey. Maxey going to spin against Barnes. Maxey going to drive, lay it up for 2, and it's good for Tyrese Maxey. Did he get the and 1? Basket might not count. It might have been a foul on the floor. Here we go. Maxey with the ball here, guarded by Anunoby, gets it over to Embiid. Embiid, guarded by Poeltl. Embiid dancing. And Embiid will be fouled this time by Jakob Poeltl. Or rather, I think it's going to actually be on Siakam for a defensive 3-second violation again. Okay, they're not showing the right play. They're showing when Siakam missed the dunk against Embiid. Great job by Joel Embiid, though, to go ahead and get his hand in there. Said, not today. Here we go. Here's Maxey with the ball. He's going to inbound it to Embiid. Gets it back over to Maxey. Maxey standing at the logo. Going to his right, finds Embiid. Embiid going to fade away on this one for two. It's going to be no good. Harris trying to fight for the rebound. And it's going to be Raptors ball. 15-7 run here for the Raptors since the start of the third quarter. Here's Scotty Barnes with the ball, guarded by Kelly Oubre. Barnes spinning. Barnes driving. Barnes kicking it out to Pirtle. It's on the ground. And Oubre is going to pick it up. Oubre is going to find Maxey. Maxey guarded by Barnes, gets over to Embiid. Embiid going to drive, going to spin. Embiid going to try to go up for two, but will be fouled here by the Raptors. Going to be on Jakob Pirtle once again. Joel Embiid currently right now with 17 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. And Embiid will be looking for more with the next two free throws. First one is good for Joel Embiid. And Patrick Beverley will come back into the game here for the Sixers, and the Sixers are going to play some three-guard basketball. Actually, no, they actually went ahead and took DeAnthony Melton out, it looks like. So it's Patrick Beverley, Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid. I thought they were playing some three-guard ball, and turns out they are not. As Anunoby has the ball, gets it out there to Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder gets it back over to Anunoby. Anunoby squeezing his way through defenders and finds his way to the cup for two. Here we go. As Patrick Beverley gets it over to Embiid. Embiid going to drive on Siakam. The ball is loose. Picked up by Pat Bev. Gets out to Harris in the corner for three. No good. Embiid gets the rebound. Going to try to drive to the cup. And Embiid will be fouled once again. And again, it's going to be on Jakob Pirtle. I think the official did call it on the floor. Because I saw the official point to the ground. As it would be a foul on the floor. And indeed it was. As Pat Bev inbounds it to Tobias Harris, back to Patrick Beverley. Gets over to Embiid. The behind-the-back pass to Oubre. Oubre fading for two. And it's good for Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre pulling up in for two on a fadeaway while dealing with pressure. As Siakam has the ball guarded by Tobias Harris. Siakam kicks it out to Barnes for three. No good. And he finally misses one, and Embiid gets the rebound and finds Maxey. Maxey going to drive. Going to put it up for two. It's good for Tyrese Maxey. Here we go. Schroeder with the ball, but a timeout will be called here by Toronto. Sixers climbing their way right back in it despite being ahead by 5. They were off to a sloppy start to begin the third quarter, but they've really picked it up, and they played like their first half selves again. Can they continue to make plays, though? Can they continue to look like their first half selves? We shall see after the commercial break. But yeah, guys, the way we went ahead and the way we're playing now in the second half is a lot better and a lot more aggressive to the way we were playing to start the third quarter. So again, this is all credit to Nick Nurse right here. He's finding a way to tell this team to go out and make changes. Because this is the coach that Nick Nurse is. He is a coach that wants to make changes. He wants to succeed with this team. And any team that he's coached for, which is mainly also the Raptors. He has wanted to find success with any team that he's coached for. And he's mainly found success with the Raptors. For the Sixers, it's unknown yet because, again, this is just his first year. But Nick Nurse wants to be a coach for a team. Nick Nurse has a passion for doing this. There's a reason why you adjust in the game. There's a reason why you adjust. And Nick Nurse can tell you why. He could probably go on for an hour long on talking about why you adjust in the game. He can speak on that topic for like many hours. And he'll give you every answer you need as the game is back on and the inbound pass is in from Gary Trent Jr. to Dennis Schroeder, who will go with a floater over Embiid, no good. And Kelly Oubre will get the rebound. And Oubre will get it over to Tyrese Maxey. Maxey guarded by Anunoby. Maxey going to his right. Maxey finds Embiid. Embiid the pump fake. Embiid spinning. Embiid pump faking it twice. Embiid fading for two, and it's good for Joel Embiid. And Embiid continuing to do Joel Embiid things. But here we go as Siakam gets it over to Gary Trent Jr. over to Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder finds Anunoby. Anunoby going up for two, no good. It's going to be rebounded by Patrick Beverley. Pat Bev gets it over to Harris. Harris out to Oubre. Oubre for three from the wing, no good. And it's going to be rebounding here by the Raptors. Here goes Schroeder on the play, gets it over to Siakam. Siakam guarded by Embiid, gets it over to Anunoby. Anunoby up the baseline. Here comes Oubre as well as Pat Bev. Tries to get it out there, and Harris takes it away. Gets over to Patrick Beverley. Beverley going to drive with the layup. No good. Let's going to get right back out to Kelly Oubre, who makes Anunoby slide on the floor. Oubre for two. It's no good. And Siakam is going to heave it all the way down for a touchdown pass over to OG Anunoby, who will lay it up and in for two. And the Raptors are down by 5. 73-68. Sixers still with the lead. Here comes Maxey driving to the cup, puts it up and puts it in for two. Maxey is also another player that needs to get going in the second half. Had a really non-Maxey-like first half for himself, so he needs to get going here in the second half. Had 9 points at halftime, 16 overall with 7 in the second half so far. As Siakam kicks it out to Anunoby for three, and it's good. And the Raptors saying, we're not going anywhere. No matter how much we've struggled, we ain't going nowhere. Here we go. Here comes Maxey bringing the ball down the floor, guarded by OG Anunoby. Gets it over to Embiid. Embiid going to drive. Embiid going to fade away on this one for two, and it's rims out. It's going to be rebounded here by Siakam. Gets over to Schroeder, back to Siakam. Siakam going to drive, float it up for two, and it's good for Pascal Siakam. Over the hands of Joel Embiid and Tobias Harris. And it's back to a 2-point game. Here we go. Harris with the ball guarded by Siakam. Gets it over to Embiid. Embiid gets it over to Pat Bev. Beverley guarded by Schroeder gets it over to Oubre, over to Harris. Harris backing in. Harris fading away on this one for two, and it's good for Tobias Harris. Sixers are finding their way to maintain a lead here in this game with a 4-point lead over the Raptors. I'm not sure what Maxey's complaining about to the ref. Maxey isn't understanding what's going on. Don't tell me Tyrese Maxey got a technical. First free throw is no good for Dennis Schroeder. Don't tell me Maxey got teed up. Don't even tell me that. That's not even what I want to hear. I don't want to hear that Tyrese Maxey got teed up. So the Raptors missed the mysterious free throw as Schroeder gets it over to Gary Trent Jr., putting it up for two. No good, and it's going to be rebounded here by DeAnthony Melton. Melton bringing it down the floor, gets it over to Embiid. Embiid trying to get it out to Melton again. Embiid fighting for the ball against Pirtle. And it's going to be a jump ball between the two centers. So Embiid and Pirtle will go at it in the jump ball. $12 turnovers for the Raptors so far, 9 for the Sixers. Pirtle and Embiid will go in the jump ball. And the jump ball will be won by Embiid, and it'll be picked up by Pat Bev. And Beverly will bring it down the floor, get it out to Embiid. Embiid dancing. Losing control of the ball. And the Sixers are probably unsure on how there's no foul. And I mean, Embiid did take a dive on the wood. You got Jakob Poeltl with his hand all over Embiid, and there's no foul. But it will be Raptors ball. They're down by 4. Sixers need some great defense right here. And Pat Bev getting scrappy and steals the ball. Bev going up and going in for 2 is Patrick Beverly. Think they're set, get aggressive? Oh, Pat Bev is out now. Pat Bev is out and alive now up to this point. As Gary Trent gets it over to Siakam. Siakam guarded by Oubre. Backing in is Siakam out to Flynn, over to Trent. Over to Grady, putting it up for 2. No good. And Embiid gets the rebound. Embiid going to get it over to Oubre. Oubre going to pump fake, now going to drive. Oubre, the layup for 2. It's good. And 1 for Kelly Oubre. Let's go. That's what we're talking about right there. Get to the basket. Get the and ones. Get every opportunity you can get. That's what we're talking about right there. Come on. Come on, Grady. Where are you going? Where are you going to, Siakam? Where are you going? Where are you both going? Y'all going to walk all the way back up to Canada? I think that's a great idea. You can do that after Kelly Oubre shoots the free throw, which he is going to miss it, actually. Pat Bev had his hands on it. Looked like he was going to be the last Sixer to touch it, but apparently the Raptors touch it last, so we'll stay with the Sixers. So the Sixers will still get another opportunity. The ball bounced on the rim so many times. Looked like Pat Bev batted it out of bounds, but it turns out it will stay Sixer ball. As Pat Bev inbounds it to Embiid. Embiid directing the offense, kicks it out to Pat Bev. Pat Bev back to Embiid. Embiid going to shoot for 2 off the side of the backboard. And here comes Malachi Flynn for the Raptors. He'll get it over to Gary Trent. And it will stay with the Raptors. That will go out of bounds off the Sixers. Embiid, you better be careful with your actions because he got teed up for punching part of the 6 of the 1 basketball hoop as Grady gets it out to Scotty Barnes, who shoots a 3. It's no good. It's going to be rebounded by Melton. Melton gets it over to Oubre. Oubre a 3. Good for Kelly Oubre. And that's what we're looking for right there from our best player that was off the bench is now in the starting lineup. And again, Pat Bev apparently did something. He's chirping with the official. This is apparently our entertainment tonight. I don't even know what Pat Bev even did. Like, what did Pat Bev even do? He's just standing in the area. What did Pat Bev even do? I don't understand. Scotty Barnes has the ball, gets it over to Gary Trent. Gary Trent loses the ball, but it's going to be a foul called on DeAnthony Melton. Four points and 4 fouls for DeAnthony Melton. Has looked invisible basically the whole game. Here we go. Scotty Barnes gets it over to Malachi Flynn after the inbound. Gary Trent shooting a 3 in the corner, and it's good for Gary Trent Jr. 84-77. It's a 7-point game. About a minute left to go here in the third quarter as Melton gets it over to Oubre. Oubre setting up the offense. Oubre taking another 3. Good for Kelly Oubre again. That's the guy who we thought was going to be 6th man of the year until he went ahead and got elevated to the starting lineup. Here we go. Here's Barnes who gets it over to Gary Trent Jr. Gary Trent finds Barnes again. Barnes guarded by Kelly Oubre, kicking it out to Gary Trent Jr. Gary Trent, and it's going to be a travel. You can't do that. Come on, Gary Trent Jr., why are you walking on the floor? You getting ready to walk the plank or what? What are you gonna get ready to do? Ready to entertain us yet? Here we go. Embiid with the top of the key 3. No good for Embiid. It's going to be rebounded by Chris Boucher. Boucher gets it over to Scotty Barnes. And Barnes will walk around with it. About 8 seconds separating the shot clocks, possibly 7. Separating the shot and game clock, I should say. Here we go. Scotty Barnes getting out to Grady over in the corner to Malachi Flynn for 3. No good. Boucher for the moment got the rebound, but it's picked up by Korkmaz. Korkmaz finds Embiid. Embiid to Korkmaz. Korkmaz. Reverse that is good. And 1 for Ferk the Turk. Furkan's going to the line for 1 more. Holy cow. Furkan Korkmaz has risen from the dead. Furkan Korkmaz first gets the steal, gives it to Embiid, and Embiid says, nah, go back to you. And then Furkan says, you know what, let me get to the cup, and you know what, let me go to the line for 1 more. That's what we're talking about right there. Free throw is good for Furkan Korkmaz. Sixers up right now by 13, it looks like. And that will take us to the end of the third quarter. The Philadelphia 76ers with a 13-point lead over the Toronto Raptors with a score of 90-77 going into the fourth. And boy, oh boy, did Furkan Korkmaz ever get his opportunity to show what he can do off the bench as a Sixer. Hey, Furkan, you still regretting on getting traded from the Sixers yet? You still regretting on getting traded or what? I don't think Furkan wants to get traded after this game. This game, he's actually doing things right now. Like, as of right now, the way he's playing, I cannot see him getting traded. I can't see that happening. Like, what is he doing? Like, what is going on here with Furkan Korkmaz? Where was this many years ago when we had Furkan Korkmaz on our roster? Where was this Furkan Korkmaz many years ago? I would love to know. But all I know is that Furkan Korkmaz is over here rising to the occasion, has risen from the dead, from going to not being a solid player to being a pretty good player. Apparently he wants to go into transition mode. Rocky Statue, what's going on, my guy? I appreciate you coming through. Say, got it. Yeah, this is our year. I mean, we'll see. I mean, we haven't made it past the second round. We haven't even made it to the Eastern Conference Finals in over 20 years, so I wouldn't get that far a couple games in the season, but I appreciate you coming through. For your support, Rocky Statue. If you haven't done so, my guy, hit the like button on the stream. And since I do not recognize your account, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well if you want consistent sports content just throughout the week. Been pretty consistent as of late now that I think about it. Lucas Holman, what's going on, my guy? I appreciate you for coming through. Appreciate you for coming through the stream, Lucas. Saying is, why is Rocco not playing? Well, Lucas, you need to think about it this way, okay? It's not just Robert Covington that hasn't played. It's also Marcus Morris and KJ Martin. They haven't played either, and they were part of the James Harden trade. I guess Nick Nurse is just giving them time to see how the Sixers are playing, like in a game of some sort. I'm guessing that's why, and then they're gonna probably go over some things in practice, and probably by the next game, hopefully, they should be set and ready to go. I would think that's how they're doing it. I could be right, I could be wrong. I don't know. I would think that's how they're doing it. And apparently to start out the fourth quarter, it looks like a technical foul on Chris Boucher. But Maxey shoots one technical free throw, and it is good to put the Sixers up by 14. Going to give Paul Reed a good amount of time. Sixers will also regain possession here. As the inbound passes into Maxey from Furkan Korkmaz, and the fourth quarter has officially started. Here we go. Tyrese Maxey with the ball here for the Sixers. Going to his left. Matching up against Boucher. Maxey gets it over to Paul Reed. Reed gets it over to Harris. Harris backing in. Harris going to fade away on this one for two. It's no good, but Paul Reed's able to put it back. Paul Reed comes out the mud and puts it in for two. As Malachi Flynn gets it over to Scotty Barnes, gets it over to OG Anunoby. Anunoby going to drive. Anunoby going to kick it out. It's going to go off of Furkan Korkmaz's hand last, it looks like, and it is going to be, or rather it's going to stay Raptors ball with 11 seconds on the shot clock. So yeah, as we look at a replay here of the Paul Reed putback, you did see that Tobias Harris missed it at first, and then Paul Reed came out the mud and said, "Let me get that for you, Toby." As the inbound pass is in here for the Raptors, as it's into Scotty Barnes, gets over to Anunoby, and it will go out of bounds. It will be Sixer ball. Here we go. Here's Maxey with the ball here. Maxey going to drive, kick it out to Harris. Harris kicks it out to Korkmaz. Korkmaz floating up for two, and it's good for Furkan Korkmaz. This man is officially a new man in the system. Here comes Malachi Flynn. Flynn kicking it out to Gary Trent Jr. Finding Flynn again. Gets it over to Scotty Barnes. Barnes going to his left. Barnes kicking it out to Boucher. Boucher taking the three. No good. It's going to be rebounding here by the Raptors. They somehow keep it in play as Barnes puts it up for two. No good. And Harris will come away with the rebound this time. Raptors are trying to go ahead and snatch the ball back. And Pat Bev is getting everybody all fired up. He's getting the attention of everybody. Who's better, Scotty Barnes or Tobias? I'm taking Barnes in my opinion. Whew, that is a tough one. If you're basing it off of this season, though, Tobias Harris has actually played pretty good through a couple games. If we're being honest right now, if we're being fair, Tobias has actually looked pretty good. As Maxey with the ball, that's going to be a travel on Tyrese Maxey. But yeah, the way Tobias is playing right now, though, you can debate this a little bit. But Scotty Barnes overall, ever since his rookie year, he's been a great player. Tobias Harris has been solid, but hasn't been off to the start of a season as he has this season. As Scotty Barnes has the ball, gets over to Malachi Flynn for three in the corner, and it's good. This might be a hot take, Lucas, but I'm going with Toby. Based on this season, I'm going with Tobias. But Harris kicks it out over to Patrick Beverley, and another travel on the Sixers. Can we all stop walking on the floor like we're ready to walk the plank on a pirate ship? Please. We'll get to the comment in a second, Ryan. Appreciate you for coming through, though. As Flynn gets it over to Anunoby in the corner for three, and that's airballed, and Paul Reed gets the rebound. Finds Maxey. Maxey brings it down the floor. Gonna drive. Gonna go back outside. Maxey, guarded by Boucher, shoots a three, comes up short. It's going to be rebounded here by the Raptors, and Boucher will take it down the other end. But Boucher is going to be fouled here by Patrick Beverly. All right, Ryan Rowe, what's going on, my guy? I appreciate you coming through. Sid Nicholas Batum will continue to develop with more training and practice to earn some minutes and take advantage of shooting 36% for three-point range. That's facts right there. Hey, Ryan, appreciate you coming through, though, my guy. Hit the like button if you have not done so. Appreciate you coming through the stream. We need to work on our rebounding. Yeah. Again, we're still adjusting to the Nick Nurse system, so, I mean, it does make sense. I mean, like, 20 games in, I'll give it 20 games in the season, and if the Sixers are not, like, doing their job for some weird reason, then that's when I'll start having them get some attention. As Boucher is able to go ahead and make the free throw here, they'll put the Raptors down by 13. Lucas will get to this comment in a second. Here we go. There's Patrick Beverly with the ball. Beverly going to his right, kicking it out to Paul Reed. Gets it over to Harris. Harris guarded by Siakam. Harris spinning. Harris pump faking. Harris putting it up for two. And it's good for Tobias Harris. And one for Toby. He's going to the line for the one more for a chance at a three-point play. You got to love it. Holy cow, Tobias. I know you love the hot takes, BL, so here's a hot take of mine. Rocco over Toby? Heck no. That is not true whatsoever. I'm taking Tobias over there, right? I'm taking Tobias right now over Rocco. I'm sorry. I can't go that far. I'm taking Tobias over Rocco. Man, Pascal Siakam has 6 points and 5 fouls. That is crazy. Here we go. Here's Schroeder gets over to Siakam, back over to Schroeder, over to Siakam, back to Schroeder. Schroeder finds Siakam again, who shoots the three, and it's off. And it's rebounded by the Raptors as Siakam gets it out to Gary Trent Jr. Gary Trent back over to Siakam. Siakam going to drive and strip by Maxey. Here comes the Mad Max. And Maxey will take it almost all the way to the cup. Can the Sixers get the rebound? They do not get the rebound, but it will be out of bounds off the Raptors. It will stay Sixers ball with 14 seconds on the shot clock. Covington just brings great defense, and he's a good shooter. I think the way Tobias Harris is playing this year, though, Lucas, I just think that Tobias Harris is just a better player this year. I'm going with Toby. And Harris with the sidestep three. No good. It's going to be rebounded by Jakob Poeltl. And he'll get it over to Scotty Barnes. Barnes gets it over to Gary Trent Jr. Gary Trent guarded by Tobias Harris. Trent gets it over to Siakam. Siakam back out to Gary Trent for three, and it's short. It's going to be rebounded by Maxey. Here come the Sixers. Maxey gets over to Pat Bev. Pat Bev pump fake and stand for the moment. Gets it to Paul Reed. Reed backing in. Putting up for two. It's good. But they're going to call a foul on the floor. At least I think they are. At least I think they called a foul on the floor. And indeed they did as Pat Bev inbounds it to Korkmaz. Korkmaz with the layup. No good. Reed trying to get the rebound. And it will be Raptors ball. When can we start to see the bench warmers start entering the game? Probably when we get to like 5 minutes left, potentially. Then we'll get to see Jaden Springer again, potentially. And maybe we get to see some of the new guys too, like Rocco. We'll get to see Rocco back in Philly. Marcus Morris. Who else do we get? Why am I drawing a blank? Rocco, Marcus Morris, Nick Batum's not playing. And KJ Martin. So we'll get to see Rocco, KJ Martin, and Marcus Morris potentially, as well as Jaden Springer. And maybe Mo Bamba. Hey, maybe Mo Bamba makes his debut. You never know. Maybe Mo Bamba makes his debut in the Sixers jersey. But if we do anything, though, within the last 5 minutes, if we start blowing this team out, that's probably going to be our lineup. Rocco was actually really good 5 years ago in Philly. Well, this ain't 5 years ago, Lucas. This is today. This is today's world of the NBA, my good sir. This is today's world of the NBA. This is not 5 years ago. But yeah, hopefully we get to see some of the new guys tonight. I mean, I would also like to see Jaden Springer get a little bit more, see what he can do. I want to see Mo Bamba make his debut. You know why? Because why not? Put him in if we start blowing out the Raptors, honestly. Put in the cleanup crew. Just feel happy for Rocco, too, because he's familiar with the Philly area and still probably has a house up here, possibly. He can. He could. But at the end of the day, though, is he familiar with the system, though? He's not familiar under Nick Nurse's system. He's only familiar with the Brett Brown system because that's the coach we had at the time. We had Brett Brown. We don't have Brett Brown anymore. We have Nick Nurse. And it's going to take him some time to get used to the Nick Nurse system. It will take Rocco some time for sure. I just said that. I was saying this the other day, but I really thought that Marcus Morris was going to go ahead and start for the Sixers at small forward. Because, I mean, between him and Tobias, those two are honestly 2 6'8" guys on the floor. Sometimes Tobias Harris goes ahead and plays small forward. And just having Marcus Morris in there also brings a little bit of height, but also it gives you 10 to 15 points a night. That's already an upgrade over PJ Tucker. As Schroeder has the ball here for the Raptors as the game is right back on and the shot is up and in. Here for Toronto. Back to a 14-point game. Under 8 minutes left to go here in this one. And here's Beverly with the ball, guarded by Gary Trent Jr. Gets over to Tobias Harris. Harris fading on this one for 2. No good. It's going to be rebounded here by Gary Trent Jr. Gets it over to Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder loses the ball, but gets it over to Anunoby somehow, and Anunoby finds a way to play it up and in for 2. Here we go. Here's Patrick Beverly with the ball. Beverly finds Paul Reed. Reed spinning. Gets it out to Maxey. Maxey going to his right. Gets it out to Pat Bev. Pat Bev going to drive. Spin. Kick out. Korkmaz. Up mid-range shot. No good. Going to be rebounded here by Scotty Barnes. Who get it over to Schroeder. Back to Barnes. Over to Siakam with the layup is good. And they're going to tee up the Raptors coach. I saw the official tee up the Raptors coach. Will you be doing Eagles on Sunday? Probably not, Lucas, to be honest with you. Technical free throw coming in here for Tyrese Maxey, and it is good. Lucas said, where's Marcus Morris? Is he even playing? Marcus Morris is available. I'm just thinking with the Nick Nurse system, he might run all the new guys with Jaden Springer and Mo Bamba towards the end of the game. That's what I think he's going to do. It's not like Marcus Morris is going to be a closer or anything. It's just going to be him getting used to the Nick Nurse system. Here we go. Here's Embiid with the ball. Embiid guarded by Anunoby. Now double team for a little bit. Embiid going up for 2 and blocked by Anunoby. Embiid gets it back. Fades for 2. No good. going to be rebounded by Anunoby. He'll get it over to Schroeder, over to Scotty Barnes. Barnes blocked by Embiid. Embiid said, get that weak stuff out of here. This is my house. This is my house, and you ain't scoring in my house. You ain't scoring in my house. Get that weak stuff out of here. First one of the line is good, though, for Scotty Barnes. Apparently, he did get fouled by Joel Embiid. Second one of the line for Scotty Barnes is also good. Here we go. Here's Kelly Oubre with the ball. Oubre crossing half court. Oubre going to his right. Oubre dancing, going step back three, and it's good for Kelly Oubre again. Kelly Oubre is that guy. 102-90 in favor of the Sixers. Barnes gets it back over to Schroeder. Schroeder gets it back to Barnes. Barnes out to Anunoby. Anunoby guarded by Oubre. Anunoby backing in. Anunoby losing the ball. It will go out of bounds. It will stay with the Raptors, though, but the Sixers are starting to play aggressive as the time starts to wind down. What a three by Kelly Oubre right there on the recent replay. Another timeout is called. On second thought, Lucas, based on how the score is right now, probably by like 3 minutes, if the Sixers score a couple more buckets and hold the Raptors off, then that's when the new guys are going to come in, probably as well as Jaden Springer and Mo Bamba potentially. I'm telling you, Kelly Oubre will be an all-star this year. I told you at the beginning of the year, LOL. Hey. I think with Kelly Oubre now getting a starting spot, Lucas, I think he has a chance. I think Oubre has a chance now that he's in the starting lineup. But I'm not sure if that's permanent, though, because none of the new guys have played yet. So I'm not sure if that's going to be permanent for Kelly Oubre. I only said that Kelly Oubre would stay on the bench and Marcus Morris would be in the starting lineup, all because of the bench scoring. We need bench scoring. That's a reason why this team has not had success. A lot of people might say, oh, it's Embiid because of the way he just plays in the postseason, or, oh, Embiid's never healthy for the playoffs. Listen, the bench has been terrible over the past few seasons. You cannot disagree with me on that. The bench has been terrible. You cannot disagree. It's not just because of Embiid that this team does not have success. The bench has to take blame. Okay? And with Kelly Oubre coming in here, and potentially all these new guys, no matter who's coming off the bench, they're going to make this bench a lot better. And no matter just how they're going to do it, they're going to find a way to get the job done when it comes to the regular season. But when it comes to postseason, it could be a whole different story. So again, Lucas, I'm not sure if they're going to make that permanent, though, for Kelly Oubre. Because, again, we haven't seen any action from any of the new guys yet. We haven't seen any action from them. And the bench scoring is vital in this league, which is why Kelly Oubre has to come off the bench, in my opinion. Again, Nick Nurse is a guy that likes to try new things. Nick Nurse is that guy who likes trying new things. So if he wants to experiment, he'll experiment. He'll experiment with these guys if he wants to. Which is exactly what he's doing in this game. And Schroeder here inbounds it to Siakam. Siakam going to shoot a three here for the Raptors. No good. It's going to be rebounded by Tobias Harris. And here come the Sixers now, up by 12. About 5 minutes left to play. There's Maxey with the ball. Gets over to Embiid, over to Harris. Harris for three in the corner. No good. It's going to be rebounded here by the Raptors. Here comes Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder guarded by Harris. Schroeder going to his left, gets it over to Scotty Barnes, gets it back over to Schroeder. Schroeder. And that's denied. Here come the Sixers as Harris has it. Harris out to Beverly. Beverly in the corner for three. No good. Oubre trying to snag the rebound, but cannot do so against OG Anunoby. And Scotty Barnes will throw one down for two to make this a 10-point game. Here come the Sixers again with under 5 minutes to play. As Max sees the ball, flips it to Embiid, and Embiid will throw it down. Everyone's standing around like scarecrows. My goodness. They're not even moving. They're sitting around like the Statue of Liberty. They're standing around like the flagpole of the United States of America. Schroeder gets it over to Anunoby, out to Gary Trent in the corner for three. No good. It's going to be rebounded by Kelly Oubre. And now he'll give it to Maxey, and Maxey will, for the moment, walks it down, now starts jogging. Here comes Maxey, rolling to his right. Floated up for two for Maxey, no good. It's going to be rebounded by Gary Trent. We'll get it over to Schroeder, over to Siakam. Siakam will drive, kick it out. Over to Anunoby, over to Barnes. Over to Siakam, over to Schroeder, over to Barnes, and that's tipped and taken away by Tobias. Here he comes again. Harris, the jam by Toby. The steal by Tobias is the 10th steal of the game. And a timeout being called here by the Raptors. At least I think that's what's going on. Yep, timeout called by Toronto. Especially now that Oubre is starting, he does have a shot. Like you were saying before, Lucas, I don't know if it's going to stay that way. Because, again, we have other guys that can compete. I'm talking about the new acquisitions that we got. Marcus Morris, Nick Batum, KJ Martin, and Rocco. But especially I'm talking about Marcus Morris. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Marcus Morris especially. Gives you 10 to 15 a night, and then you can get Oubre scoring off the bench. You can get that. The bench has been a problem in the postseason. Is Marcus Morris going to go out there and put up numbers like Oubre off the bench? That's what you don't know. I mean, Marcus Morris, to be fair, can give you 10 to 15 a night, but could he do it consistently? Can he do it consistently off the bench with Oubre in the starting lineup? A guy that you know is going to start to score at least close to, if not 20 a night. You don't know that. That's why I'm saying Nick Nurse is willing to experiment and try new things. Tobias grown man, we probably empty the bench now. Not yet. We want to make sure we make it official. As Schroeder puts one up for two, no good, and Embiid gets the rebound. About 3 minutes left to go here in this one. Sixers up by 14, 106-92. Here comes Maxey going up to the right, finds Embiid. Embiid runs into OG Anunoby, and Anunoby slams Embiid to the floor. Embiid just ran into Anunoby at first. And then Anunoby, it was like he slammed Embiid to the floor. Embiid did get hit a little bit. He did end up on his back. Embiid's not getting any younger, to say the least. But Embiid's still finding a way to make plays and make things happen. First one on the line is no good for Joel Embiid. It doesn't matter how much we're up by. You got to make these free throws. You got to make them. It's something that you're really good at doing as a center. Double-double tonight for Joel Embiid of 23 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Second one at the line is good for Joel Embiid. He's not missing 2 consecutive free throws when he's healthy. As Barnes gets over to Siakam, and Embiid denies it. But it's going to be a goaltending on Embiid. And Embiid's asking for the challenge by Nick Nurse. Embiid's asking for it. Ooh, that is close, actually. But they do not challenge it. As Beverly gets over to Embiid, back over to Maxey. Maxey looking, finds Embiid. Embiid coming inside. Embiid fading away from the paint for 2, no good. Oubre gets the rebound. Oubre taking the 3 from the corner, and it's good for Kelly Oubre again. Oh my goodness. What a steal in free agency to get Kelly Oubre. What an absolute steal. What a job by Daryl Morey to go out and get Kelly Oubre. All right, this will probably be where we start to clear the benches here. All right, guys, I am back once again for the final couple minutes of this game here. Now is potentially where we can start clearing the benches, but the Sixers saying, we're not clearing the benches yet. But looks like the Raptors are. As Grady goes up for 2, it's no good. It's going to be rebounded here by the Sixers. Here comes Tobias Harris. Harris with the ball, gets over to Embiid, over to Maxey. Maxey backing up, guarded by Malachi Flynn, comes around the screen, gets over to Embiid. Embiid with the floater for 2, no good. Embiid with the putback, gets it in for the second chance points. Flynn with the ball here for the Raptors. It's over to Thaddeus Young. Gets over to Grady. Grady, guarded by Pat Ben. That's a Jalen McDaniels for 3, and it's good for Jalen McDaniels. The former Sixer getting another jumper off. Here we go. Here's Tyrese Maxey with the ball. Maxey coming inside. Maxey finds Embiid. Embiid pump faking with one hand for 2, no good. Embiid trying to get the putback and does so. Indeed. And Nick Nurse is all fired up about this. There's Grady with another shot. No good. It looks like the benches will now be cleared. Now they're starting to get the new guys in. I told you this was going to happen, Lucas. I told you it was going to happen. All the new guys, they're coming into the game. You see Rocco on your screen right now. They want them to get used to the Nick Nurse system. I'm telling you. As Thaddeus Young gets it over to Malachi Flynn, gets it over to Grady, over to Thaddeus Young. That's going to be poked away by Korkmaz. And KJ Martin, wearing number 1 now for the Sixers, complaining to the official. But the inbound pass will be in from Jalen McDaniels to Malachi Flynn, who will put it up for 2, and it's no good. Rebounded by Mo Bamba. As Bamba gets it over now to Jaden Springer. Springer going to his right. 3 from the top of the key, and good for Jaden Springer. But apparently a foul was called. Come on, guys. That's supposed to be a Jaden Springer 3 right there. As Malachi Flynn gets over to Thaddeus Young. Thaddeus Young is going to be fouled by the Sixers. Better to do it now than early in the game when you have your starters in. But under a minute to go, ladies and gentlemen. The Sixers are going to go ahead and beat the Raptors in this one. We'll let him finish it out as the first free throw by Thaddeus Young is no good. Will the Sixers get the chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A? Will they get them here? And yes, the Chick-fil-A is back. Second one by Thaddeus Young is no good, and the Sixers get free chicken as well. Sixers fans get the free chicken on top of everything. Springer coming inside. The jumper is no good, and Thaddeus Young will get the rebound. Hey, Thaddeus Young, pleasure doing business with you. As number 14 is going to go ahead and put it up and in for 2 here for the Raptors. But it doesn't matter. Play that song. Everybody, clap your hands in the chat. Let's go. Put the clapping hand emojis in the chat, everyone. Let's go. Your Philadelphia 76ers are going to defeat the Toronto Raptors by a final score of 114-99. And they will get the job done here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. What a win here by your Philadelphia 76ers. Get a big win over the Toronto Raptors. Chevrolet player of the game goes to Tobias Harris. 23 points, 10 of 17 from the field, 7 rebounds, 3 steals for Toby. Scored 20-plus points in 3 of the first 4 games this season. So Tobias Harris, keep doing your thing. You're going to have to be one of the best options on this team. Great job by Tobias Harris tonight. But there you go, guys. There is your final score on the night. We're overcoming adversity where it matters most, ladies and gentlemen. And that's where it matters most right there. 114-99, your final score from tonight's game from the Wells Fargo. And ladies and gents, hold up. We got one comment here real quick. Nice stream, BLSG. Yeah, I appreciate that, Lucas. I appreciate that. Ladies and gents, we're not going anywhere. You want to know why we're not going anywhere? We got to put something on real quick. Hold up. Let me take these banners down. Because ladies and gents, we got to enjoy this for a little bit. And you know how we enjoy it, ladies and gents? You know what we do? We got to go ahead and play the songs. Let's go ahead and do it. Music producer, go ahead and do it. Play the song. Sorry about that, ladies and gents. I completely forgot I had that on loop. But, ladies and gents, listening to that song one time is great, right? Do you guys get enough of that? Because I didn't. Do we need to run that back right now? Guys, let me know in the chat. Do we run it back right now? Let's go. Come on. Let me know. Because I feel like we didn't get enough of that. I feel like we didn't get enough of that song. I feel like we didn't get enough of it. Do we run it back right now? Bleacher, what's going on, my guy? I appreciate you for coming through. Said awesome. I appreciate you for coming through. Later in the stream, Bleacher. Hit the like button if you're not done so, and appreciate you for coming through to the stream as well. Ladies and gents in the chat, do we run it back right now? Do we run the song back? Because I don't think I got enough of that. But I'm letting the chat decide. I'm letting the chat decide. Do we run that back right now? And we got the go-ahead from Bleacher saying, run it back. And you guys already know what we got to do. We got to go ahead. We got to run that back. Music producer, hit that song one more time. Let's do it. Let's go, ladies and gents. Great win by the Sixers tonight in this game over the Toronto Raptors, 114-99. That's a great win right there. That's how you do it. That's how you mean business right there. So loving it. Right back at you, Bleacher. Loving that song. That's our victory song every time the Sixers win. Every time they win, we're playing that song. At least every time we win when I'm streaming the game. That's for sure. But ladies and gents, on that note, we're going to go ahead and go over the box score as well as the team stats, and then we're going to go ahead and get out of here. So starting off on the Toronto Raptors side, Scotty Barnes once again leads the way for the Toronto Raptors, finishing his night with 24 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. Following that up is OG Anunoby, finishing with 16 points, 4 rebounds, and an assist as well as a block. Dennis Schroeder following it up with 13 points, as well as 3 rebounds and 10 assists, as well as a steal. Then following it up is Pascal Siakam, who did not have a good night at all, finishing his night with 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists. Then following that up is Jakob Poeltl, finishing his night with 9 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. Then off the bench now, you had Gary Trent Jr. finishing his night with 8 points, 5 rebounds, and a steal. And following that up is Chris Boucher, finishing his night with 6 points, 4 rebounds, as well as a block. Then Malachi Flynn with 6 points, 3 rebounds, and assists, and 2 steals. Then following that up is Jalen McDaniels with 5 points and a rebound. Then following that up to round it off is it Gary Temple? Or Garrett Temple, rather. Garrett Temple rounding it off for the bench, finishing his night with 2 points straight up to end off the final stats for the Toronto Raptors. Now we're doing the Philadelphia 76ers side now, as Joel Embiid once again leads the way here for the Philadelphia 76ers, finishing his night with a double-double of 28 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists, and a block. Following that up is Kelly Oubre with 23 points, 5 rebounds, and a steal. And Tobias Harris following it up with 23 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals. Great defense by Tobias Harris tonight. The man was phenomenal on defense. This might bold take. A bit of a hot take right here. But this might be Tobias Harris's best defensive game of his career. 3 steals? Come on now. Where can you go wrong right there? Come on. And then following that up, we have Tyrese Maxey. Didn't have the most efficient night, but did enough to go ahead and finish his night with 18 points, a rebound, 4 assists, and 2 steals. Then off the bench, you have Furkan Korkmaz, the Turkish legend, the Sixer legend. Going to get an interview right now by Taryn Hatcher on the post game. But Furkan Korkmaz finishing his night with 10 points, a rebound, no assists, 3 steals. Where's that version of Furkan Korkmaz every night? We can get that. I'm not complaining about what Furkan Korkmaz can do. But then after Furkan Korkmaz, off the bench, then had Paul Reed with 6 points, 5 rebounds, and a block. And following that up was DeAnthony Melton, who had a very rough night tonight, finishing his night with 4 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal. And then the final player that we got to get to is Patrick Beverley, the smack talker. I will call him that now for his nickname. Finishing the night with 2 points, 5 rebounds, and assists, and 2 steals and a block to end up the final stats for your Philadelphia 76ers. Now over to the team stats now, as the Toronto Raptors finishing the ball 48.1% from the field to the Philadelphia 76ers 45.7%. The Philadelphia 76ers finishing the ball 36% from three-point range to the Toronto Raptors 35.7%. The Philadelphia 76ers finishing the ball 84% from the free throw line to the Toronto Raptors 68.4%. The Philadelphia 76ers out-rebounded the Toronto Raptors in the end 46-41, and same thing offensively from the Sixers 15-9. The Toronto Raptors had more assists than the Philadelphia 76ers 30-21. The Sixers had more steals than the Raptors 12-4. Each team had 3 blocks in this game. The Sixers won the turnover battle over the Toronto Raptors 19-14. The Sixers with more points in the paint than the Toronto Raptors 66-50. And then a total of 39 personal fouls called, 20 on the Toronto Raptors and 19 on the Philadelphia 76ers. And ladies and gentlemen, on that note, that is how the foul stats come to an end. The Sixers, once again, they get it done over the Toronto Raptors by a foul score of 114-299. And they get the job done here tonight over the Raptors, with their next game being on Saturday against the Phoenix Suns. As Bleacher says, thank you for another great game call. Hey, appreciate you, Bleacher. Appreciate you for coming through and supporting. But Sixers' next game will be on Saturday when they go take on the Phoenix Suns. Early afternoon game, too. Also, there's going to be a lot of college football on as well. So it's not going to be looking like I'm going to be streaming that game because, I got to go ahead and watch Ohio State, even though I do believe they're playing, I think it's Rutgers this weekend. But I got to go ahead and watch them. So I'll probably be back with you guys sometime next week. What day, I don't know. But looking forward into the schedule here. See if I can pull it up real quick. See if I can pull up the Sixers schedule. I'll probably be back with you guys on Monday when the Philadelphia 76ers take on the Washington Wizards. So I'll probably be back for that game, so I will not be streaming the game on Saturday. But yeah, guys, overall, this is a good win over the Toronto Raptors. Sixers improved to 3-1 on the year. And this is just how we need to play overall as a team. It's a team sport, and we play as a team tonight. That's how you win games right there. And this is what it's going to take for the Sixers to make it past the second round. This is what it's going to take right here. This is what it's going to take. But ladies and gents, on that note, that is just about going to go ahead and do it for me. But before we go ahead and get out of here, forgot to do it earlier, but let's go ahead and give a quick shout out to the newest sponsor of the channel, 10-Pin Toolkit.
Shout out to the newest sponsor of the channel, 10-Pin Toolkit. If you out there have ever thought about either trying a new sport like bowling, want to learn about the history of bowling, or look to improve your game, then 10-Pin Toolkit is for you. 10-Pin Toolkit has so many tools to help you, such as angles and targeting, ball speed and RPM, an online score calculator, and so much more to help take your game to the next level. Ever since I started using 10-Pin Toolkit, it has taken my bowling game to new heights and has helped me tremendously in becoming a much improved bowler than what I was when I was just getting started to becoming the bowler that I am today. It is currently rated as tied for the #1 best bowling app in the world as of today. It is a great resource to be used for coaching and will help take the talent of bowlers to new places that they have never experienced before. So if you are interested in starting a bowling career, want to learn about the history of bowling, or just look to improve your game, go download 10-Pin Toolkit on either the App Store or the Google Play Store, or click the link down below in the description to download it and get ready to have an experience in bowling like you have never seen before.
So there you go, guys. There is our newest sponsor of the channel right there, 10-Pin Toolkit. Have partnered with them for a good amount of time now. Currently not a paid sponsorship unless if you're wanting to upgrade the tools that are in the app. So, excuse me, but if you guys are interested, though, in wanting to learn more about 10-Pin Toolkit, the link is down below in the description to go ahead and download it. But on that note, ladies and gents, that is actually going to go ahead and do it for me. Be sure to like and subscribe if you guys have not done so. And I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Peace out. The Sixers win. Let's go. Peace, everybody. Have a good night, y'all. God bless and peace.